Well, everybody, check this out. I still can't believe it though. It's like moments ago, my hair was not like this. It was all puffy and all the way out and stuff. And now it's just cut off, which I actually do appreciate. I was waiting for this. So what's going on with the video? What's going on, guys? It is Shay here. Welcome back to another prop review. Today, everybody, I'm going to be showing the world, or showing everyone, all of my real gun props that I've made. Kind of basically props that I made off of real guns, you know, like realistic gun, like I don't say realistic, but real guns. Like most of my guns are realistic, but these are all guns that, you know, that are prop builds of real guns from real life. Now, surprisingly enough, I don't really have that many here. Now, I actually did an original take of this, but I was cut for time, and I couldn't even get to the last one in the box in terms of how I made them. So, yeah, I guess we can go ahead with it. So, with that being said, let's begin. So how this is going to work is that we're going to go in order of how these guns were made. So we're going to start off all the way from the first real gun that I made all the way up to the most recent. Now I think I've made some other real guns before, yeah, but they've probably been scrapped and or just thrown in the trash. So, but first off, we have here, we're going to first start off with the FN57, or as Demo Rants like to say it, the FN57. But yeah, so this is the FN57. It is it's a pretty, it's actually I think a pretty big handgun. It's a little bit bigger than what I have here. And out of all of these props, this is actually my least favorite. This is probably the only prop I haven't featured on my channel at all, really. I haven't really featured this gun on my channel, you know, in a good while. Maybe it's just because that, you know, I don't find this as interesting as some of my other guns that I have in my box here. But in terms of craftsmanship, it's okay, I guess, for a FN57. It's kind of a CSGO based, let's say 1911, 5.7. It's kind of a CSGO based 5.7, about to say 1911 again, where it has like the little stickers on the sides and stuff, like on the sides. So you got SPD, don't know why I put that there, a little arrow leading to back here, a couple arrow designs here, and the bang in Japanese with the finger gun. So yeah. Let's move on to the next gun that I made next, and that is indeed the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum revolver prop. Now, I actually switched this over from a 1911. Now, I actually switched this over from a 500 Magnum to just a standard generic revolver because, you know, I removed the compensator. Now, this is a 500 Magnum for the 4-inch barrel with the compensator at the end of it. But I decided, bro, this it's not looking the best. So I decided to remove those and paint over this, which it looks so much more better now. In a way it does. That's that side. But yeah, other than that, I switched it over from that gun to just a generic revolver. Now I guess I'll just say that this uses 357 Magnum. But the cylinders have been removed. I was gonna try to retrofit them. Let's say retrofit, right? I was gonna try to fit them with some new cylinder designs, but I never actually got around to that. Funny thing is that when I do make revolvers, and to be honest with you, my next prop review will be about a revolver. But when it comes to making revolvers, the hardest thing about them is the cylinders. Like, they're separate pieces that I have to like hot glue onto the gun, and sometimes I'm really not in the mood just for that. So, you know, maybe I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just do this when I have a little more energy. But when it comes to making revolvers, the cylinders are the hardest thing to put or to make with these guns because of, you know, I guess because of like how much more time consuming it is to actually make these, like to make the cylinders. Like, they're literally just two slabs of cardboard glued together and with a couple of pieces to cover up the seams of the cardboard. So like whatever, but yeah, so it looks like when I point it at the camera, it looks okay. It's not as big as an actual revolver. It don't really look like a full-size revolver, not even a snub nose, but in the camera it looks pretty okay. But anyways, let's move on to the next revolver that I had that's in order, and that is indeed the Colt Detective Special. Now, this revolver is chambered in .38 Special in real life, and it's actually, recently I just found out that the Colt Detective Special's production start year was in 1927. And decas or detectives would, I guess, were issued these guns, you know, sometime around the early or maybe even to mid 1930s. And I think they completely got supplanted in service in the 1990s. I do know the Colt Detective Special has been around for a long time, been in service for a long time back in those times. But yeah, really nice gun. It's not my favorite snub nose revolver. There's a couple of other revolvers out there that are my, or snub nose in terms of that as my favorite, but this is what it looks like. Now originally the Colt Detective Special had a little bit more heft to it because of the grip. The grip was a little bit more slanted out, and my finger would always kind of be a little bit like that, my pinky finger. And now I could just rest my fingers like that, you know. But in a way, this is still the Colt Detective Special because, you know, it still has the frame of it. It's just that the grip is a little bit more like a Smith & Wesson Model 36 a little bit, which I kind of want to make. But yeah, pretty little nice looking gun. And the only other detail that besides the grip, which was a major change I made to the gun, the only other detail that I made was the flutes in the cylinder, and that's really about that. So yeah, this came after I made the, in terms of a real gun, this came after let's just say the stainless steel frame revolver. But yeah, that's really it for this one. Next revolver that we have here is the Smith & Wesson Model 10 revolver. Now, I did make a couple changes to this gun. In terms of unnecessary changes was to the cylinder. I don't know why. It's just like, you know how the term is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, my dumb ass sometimes doesn't actually follow that principle. But the one thing that did need fixing was the grip. I needed to make it a little bit less thicker. Now, for anybody who have seen the original part review of this gun may know that yes, this grip used to be thick, like thick, a little bit thicker than the Colt Detective Special's grip originally, but now I shortened it, or, you know, made it a little bit more thinner to the point where it's a little bit easier to hold and get your grip right. And yeah, and I don't know what the whole issue with the cylinder thing was. I don't know what that was about. Like, yeah, I tried making it a little more like an actual cylinder on a revolver, but that I scrapped that, and I need to repaint it. So yeah, there's not much to really go over this revolver. This revolver is also chambered in .38 Special. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. The next gun that we have here is the Beretta 92, a gun that I don't even need to explain about because it is probably, and it's not probably, it is by far one of the most popular Wonder 9s out there, probably behind the Glock. But this is my favorite semi-auto pistol in real life. My favorite semi-automatic pistol. Its design, it looks so cool, and you know, I just love it. But this is my prop build of it. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Chambered in 9mm, came back process of it came back into 1975, and then its production or its service start was in 1985 with the U.S. Well, in terms of the U.S. Army, this is a pretty cool gun. I like it. But it's an okay little prop for, you know, like this thing, but this is what really got me into thinking, like, maybe I should start weathering my guns a little bit more. Like, it doesn't even need to be just regular firearms. Like, it could just be, you know, blaster pistols, you know, from Star Wars, or any other guns that look a little bit realistic to this. So the whole reason why I made this gun was due to Once Upon a Time in Mexico, when El Mariachi, who was Antonio Banderas' character, held the gun like this and used it. He only fired it once, from what I know, but he held it like this to kind of scare off Danny Trejo's character. There's actually many reasons why I wanted to make most of these guns. I'll give them all at the end of the video. And yeah, that's really that. So the last gun that I have is which is actually my most recent prop build, is indeed the Nambu Model 60 revolver. Probably by far one of my most favorite revolvers at the moment. And it is a police revolver, and it was produced and manufactured in Japan, and has been the standard issue Japanese revolver for decades, and I think it still is, except the new version that's came by called the new Nambu Model 60 revolver, which I think has a shortened barrel. But yeah, I do know that this is like when I made this, I always I'm like, you know, why not try to go ahead and put some details into the, you know, close to the barrel, and there you go. There's the details. And I also went out of my way to write police revolver, which is actually does say that on the real gun, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's really what this gun looks like. There is no barrel because I don't really see a reason to add a barrel at the end of it. I tried to at one point, but I just decided not to. Every time I messed up, I just painted over with the new paint I got. But I love this gun. Probably by far my favorite revolver so far. So now let me go ahead and tell all the reasons why I decided to make most of these guns. Now, we're gonna start off all the way back from the 5.7. I also forgot to mention that the 5.7 is also chambered. It's chambered in 5.7 by 28 millimeter, and the Nambu is chambered in 38 special specifically. You can't use on 357 Magnum, as far as I know. But the reason why I wanted to make the 5.7 was just because I'm like, man, maybe I want to make a gun like this, like a little bit more. I don't know. I don't even know how would you put it. I don't know. I don't really have a logical train of thought of why I wanted to make the 5.7. I just wanted to. But there is a reason why I decided I wanted to make these two revolvers, which are the Detective Special and the Model 10. I wanted to make these revolvers due to Violent Cop. The Colt Detective Special is used by Detective Azuma, aka Takashi Kitano's character in that movie. And this is his duty sidearm before he was fired. And he intimidated and even shot at Kiyohiro with this gun as well. And speaking of Kiyohiro, Kiyohiro used this gun right here to try, or which in a way he successfully wounded Azuma when he was walking at him with that 1911. But yeah, that's the whole reason why, because of Violent Cop for these guns. For the revolver, I think because of Kentucky Ballistics, probably my favorite gun channel on YouTube. Kentucky Ballistics is probably the reason why I think that's the exact reason why I wanted to make this gun, because of Kentucky Ballistics. Because I don't know why the 500 Magnum with a 4-inch barrel and the compensator just looks so cool. I don't know why, but it just looks really freaking cool. But yeah, that was the reason why I wanted to make this revolver, because of Kentucky Ballistics. It's his favorite handgun. So yeah, and then for the Beretta 92, I've already explained my reasoning, because of Antonio Banderas and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. You know, it's just a little change in what he had with it in terms of a pistol, because in Desperado, which is, you know, the movie that preceded the aforementioned movie, he didn't use this gun. He dual wielded Ruger KP90s or Ruger P90s. But in that movie, you know, in Once Upon a Time in Mexico, he used this once and did the little cool move thing. So, and the last gun we have here is a Nambu Model 60 revolver, which is my most recent prop. The whole reason why I wanted to make this is because of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Jotaro Kujo, my personal favorite JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character at the moment, and probably will by far be my favorite. To be honest with you, that's the whole reason why I wanted to make this revolver, because of that one scene from episode 1 where he took the revolver. Now, I don't watch anime, but due to the fact that one of my friends has been demanding me, and I'm pretty sure some people might know, for anybody who watches this channel, I'm pretty sure you might know who that friend is, has basically been demanding me to watch a show for months, ever since he started watching it. And I decided to give in a couple weeks in, maybe even, yeah, a couple weeks ago I decided to give in. I'm already on part 3, so that's how I know who he is. But yeah, that's, to be honest with you, that's legitimately the only reason why I made this gun. And also, when I found out more information about it, I'm like, it's a 5-shot revolver, like, because I love revolvers with a 5-round cylinder, which I love that. It's I don't know, like, it's just that one scene where he uses it and then, you know, pretends to shoot, pretends he did shoot himself, and then his stand Star Platinum caught the bullet. That's the whole reason why I made this revolver. And then when I found out a little bit more information about it, I was like, man, this is a really cool revolver. And it's also like kind of, and I guess like the whole way that the police use it, you know, I guess it's kind of a genius tactic, because they have them little cords or lanyards they have at the bottom of the guns, and unless you snap that lanyard or cut it off, or, you know, just manually try to take the thing off of the thing and try to take it from the police officer, this thing ain't going nowhere. So yeah, that's my reasoning for all of this. In total, out of this entire box, I actually say, out of the 6 guns that I have here, yeah, 6, really big number, but out of the 6 guns that I have in this box, 4 of them are revolvers, and 2 of them are semi-auto pistols. And just see, there you go. That's all the guns. The only one that looks like a toy is this freaking 5.7 in here, with that apple, or the candy apple or apple red Cerakote to the slide. So yeah, that's all the props. Another revolver will be coming soon, and I'm not gonna say what revolver it is, but it will most likely, it's a Brazilian made revolver that I'm really thinking about making. But other than that, I really hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.